Hi there everybody, Morgan with Event Answer here, and today I'm going to show you how to make this 5-foot tall balloon cactus. It goes together really simply and easily, so follow along and I'll show you how I did it. I started this project by building a base to attach the balloons to. So I have two 1/2-inch PVC pipes here that are 5 feet long, and I bought them from the hardware store that way. And the first pipe I'm going to mark off 2 feet, which means the other side is 3 feet. And then I have a 1-foot section here, and then I'll have another one that's 18 inches, and there'll be some leftover pipe that I'll save for another project. And so on those marks, I'm going to take a pair of PVC pipe cutters and just cut through the pipe really cleanly. Now if you don't have a pipe cutter, you could also use a hacksaw, or even check with your local hardware store and see if they'll cut it for you. In total, I have a 3-foot, a 2-foot section, an 18-inch, and a 12-inch section, as well as a T-bracket and a 90-degree turn. Now I'm going to be attaching this to the wood base that I made in a previous video, which I'll have linked above. This I've just changed out to be a 1/2-inch faceplate versus the 1-inch. So I'm going to start out with my 3-foot piece and just snugly fit that into the base plate. And then I'm going to add my T-bracket, and I'm going to face it to the right here. And then I'll add my 2-foot section on top of that. I have my 18-inch piece, which I'll attach to the T-bracket and make the arm of the cactus, my 90-degree turn, which I want to point upwards, and then my final 1-foot piece, and that will be the stand for the balloon cactus. I'll be building my cactus out of these 12-inch and 6-inch quick link balloons in the color lime, and I'll be using a hand pump to blow up the small balloons and my electric pump to blow up the larger balloons. I'm also going to be using my sizer box that I made. For the cactus, it's going to be really critical to have consistently sized balloons, so I'll link the video up above if you'd like to learn how to make a sizer box. So I'm just going to start off with my quick link balloon and inflate it a little larger than the size that I want, and then I'm slowly going to let air out of the balloon just until it fits through the hole in the sizer box. And then I'll just tie it off and set it aside. So I'm going to be filling 49 of this size of balloon. All of those are going to be tied into quads except the last one, which will make up the top of the cactus. To make a quad, I first started by making pairs. So I'm going to take 2 balloons, wrap the nozzles around each other twice, and then just tie a simple knot. And that will make up a pair. I'm going to repeat this for a second set of balloons, and then once I've got all 4 of them tied into pairs, I'll nestle the 2 of them together so that the nozzles are touching each other, and then just twist the 2 together, and that will secure them together in a quad. So we'll repeat the same steps for the smaller balloons, but with the arm of the cactus, you do need a singular pair, you need a trio, and then you'll need a set of 5. So to make a trio, you'll make a pair just like before, and then you're just going to tie a single balloon with a simple knot to the nozzles of the pair, and that'll give you your trio. Once you have your double and your trio, to make a set of 5, you'll simply take your 3 and your 2, nestle them together across the nozzles, and twist them together, and that piece will be the last one to sit on top of the arm of the cactus. Here are all the balloons laid out in order of how I'll assemble them on the cactus, so take note of the quads, the pairs, and the trios and what order they're in, and that'll make assembly really easy. And now it's finally time to put all the pieces together. So I'm going to take a little bit of lightweight fishing line with my first 6-inch quad, and I'm just going to take the end of that and wrap it in between the balloons a couple times in a figure-8 pattern, and that will secure the fishing line to the set of balloons. Then I'm going to take my first quad and flatten it out into a 4 pattern and nestle it right up against the PVC pole so that the nozzles are actually touching the pole. So I'm going to make sure those are laying flat, and then I'm going to grab my next set of quads and lay it on top of the previous quad, but make sure the balloons are nestled in between each other. So the current balloon I have my hands on should be nestled between the 2 balloons below it. I then took the fishing line and wrapped it around the current layer of balloons I was working on, and then went down below and wrapped it around the balloons in the layer before it. So I went back and forth in a figure-8 pattern, securing the 2 layers of balloons together. And then I'm just going to repeat this step all the way up the cactus. So the main body of the cactus is the same step over and over again, with all the layers, snugging them between each other and then securing them with the fishing line all the way up to the top. So once you get to the top, cut that fishing line free, and then I've got the final single balloon, and I'm going to take a thin balloon that you'd make like balloon animals out of, and I'm just going to tie that to the top balloon's nozzle, stretch that tight, and then the tail ends of that balloon I'm going to use to secure it to the column. So I'm just going to take that tail and weave it in and out of the balloons below it, and that tension will hold the balloon in place. And then it's time to work on the arm. So I have my first quad that's 4 inches, and I'm going to just place it down over the pipe. I'm not even going to worry about using fishing line, and I'm just going to snug it right up against the body of the cactus. I'm going to repeat this with the next 4, so there'll be 4 on the arm, and then once I've got those in place, I'll grab my first pair. So with the 2 balloons, and I'm going to rotate the view here so you can see the end, I'm going to put that on the inside of the arm and then snug it all the way down so that those nozzles are actually sitting on that 90-degree bend. And then I'm going to take my trio, and with 1 balloon pointing down so that it nestles between the pair that I just put on, this will help turn the corner. So now I can go ahead and put 2 more quads on top and make sure those are nestled down really tight. And then I'll add the final set of balloons, which is that 5 set. So I'm going to take a narrow balloon again, just like I did with the top piece on the main body of the cactus. I'm going to weave it in and around this set of 5, and then using the tails, I'm going to secure it to the arm of the cactus. So I'm just going to take that tail and pulling on it nice and snug, wrap it around several balloons so it holds it in place. And then I'm just going to fiddle with the balloons a little bit until I'm happy with how they're sitting. And that's it, the cactus is done. Now you could totally add some tissue paper flowers to the top of this, or you could paint the little nozzles so that they're black so they look like spikes on this cactus, but otherwise that's it. I hope you found today's project inspirational. This came together so quickly, and how fun would this be to have at your next fiesta? If you enjoyed this project, give the video a like. It lets me know you're enjoying these kind of projects and want to see more of them. Speaking of other projects, if you'd like to see some other videos, I do all kinds of balloon tutorials, DIY event setups, and decorations. If you'd like to check some of those out, there'll be links over here. So until the next video, I'll see ya!